What's up, guys? Man, it's Shaggy with Shaggy's Consulting and Training. Man, it's Monday. I've literally go Bucks. Hey, stop rubbing it in. My Chiefs failed and died. I still wear their hat though, even though I'm really, really mad. See, I still got it on. Really, really mad. Upset. Terrible game. Refs suck. No, just kidding. It's the way of life, man. Sometimes you show up to play and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're mystified that the team. I mean, who can imagine? Like, that was a crazy, crazy game. Justin's in the house and Christy Allen's in the house. Hi, Christy. We got, this week in Shaggy's Consulting and Training, it's broker week. And I've literally been so busy today, like no joke, like so busy today doing stuff. We got agents at the brokerage going on and new people coming in. We moved like, I don't know, I think Corey said like 180 some odd loads last week. And it's been really nuts. And, I do feel the burn. A lot of phone calls going on. We were off last week with my daughter's birthday, and it was crazy. And the group's just growing like crazy. I mean, right there in the top corner, you got Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. It's where we do a lot of Q&As. We got every Thursday at 1, we've been doing these big old Q&As. They've had like 100 people in them, and we're putting out some killer information about insurance, compliance. What's up, Virgil? Information, compliance, safety, the process of setting up the authorities, and that's the crazy thing, this week in our Q&A that we're going to be doing this week in our Q&A on Thursday here in the group, we're going to be doing a Q&A on starting a trucking company, the processes of starting a trucking company, the risk of starting a trucking company, the liabilities of starting a trucking company, the time period of the first 90 days, the insurance, about diversity, about direct bill. We're going to talk about the process to outline how you're going to grow, what kind of freight should you haul, type of trailers. What's up, Beth? The type of trailers that you're going to need, what's happening with that map on the back, seasons, lanes, and all this stuff. And man, everybody's popping in. It's crazy because I go through all these Facebook groups all the time. And, this is, if you guys don't know, like, I started out as a company driver, and working for Pam. And then I met Melissa. Then we bought a truck and became owner operators. And then she got pregnant and we put the baby in the truck, and we had 3 trucks and we drove, and I see, and my wife, she's had a CDL since 2000, 20 years. And, I've had one for a long time too. You get experience of driving. We had owner operators. 22 of them. Then we dispatched 70 other carriers on top of our trucks. We've seen so many owner operators get their own authority. What's up, Al? So many of our owner operators had the opportunity to get their own authority, and we've seen so many up and downs with safety, compliance, laws changing, everything. But the whole thing was, in all those 15, 16 years, we still had to operate, whether the freight was good or the freight was bad. We still had to pay bills. We still had to make that money every week. Just because one week we could, 4 or 5 month section, we could go out there and make $8,000 a week. But then the next week, no matter what we did or what customer we had, it might be $5,000 to $6,000 a week. Hey, Thomas, I'll see you next week too. Man, we are so booked up right now. Like, no lie. Like, we are booked up on in-persons till March 29th. We're booked up on training classes forever. It's insane. People are calling, and it's awesome. And it's great because we're not getting a lot of new people anymore. We're changing the focus of our training to more carrier-based training. Our brokerages that want to learn a whole different aspect of just calling, It's like tonight, we're going to be teaching brokering and going after customers as a carrier or as a broker. And the first night, we're going to spend nothing but talking about all the bad shit, the liability, the claims, how long you're going to have to wait to collect your money, how to build credit. Credit for your first 6 to 8 months is so huge and so important that you have no idea. The building credit and how important it is to brokerage when no one wants to use you. No one cares, And what do you have to offer carriers that are going to make them come over to you to be able to pull your freight? If there's a market where there's more trucks than freight, it's different. If there's a market where there's more freight than trucks, it's different. If it's about the rates or the relationships, you know, it's about servicing that customer and keeping such a tight ship. You know, what about learning to service all the freight the customer has? So many times I see people come in and ask questions about not knowing how to sell freight, or they can sell freight, but they can't sell the carriers because they don't understand about the carriers' compliance, the maps, the seasons, the lanes, how they operate, how they talk. Why should I know how to negotiate as a broker when I'm new? Because I'm a broker. You know, I mean, I don't need to negotiate like a carrier. I just need to know. I guess I just go get freight. You know, how important the assets are to a brokerage when you're new, when you don't have any. You know, there's so much stuff that goes on. It's pretty crazy. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope they had a cool week last week. It's cold as hell outside. I mean, like literally, it's nuts. I don't know if it's cold where you're at, but it is definitely cold where I'm at. You know, we haven't really had a chance to get on, me and Frank, on Friday nights and stuff. It's been really, really busy. A lot of things going on. You know, we have different things happening in the group. We're bringing in a new compliance company called Commercial Fleet Data Systems out of Texas with Randall and Tom Hartman. And it's going to be really unique. They're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff in the group. We're going to get away from more software and stuff and get back to educating. And educating means is when you get an authority, knowing what's really involved to go to 1 to 5 trucks. We're going to get back to spending more time on accident kits and safety plans and what really qualification files. We're going to get into more about audits and the bad audits that are coming up. You know, every day we look at these FMCSAs and we see so many people going out of business, and all you hear about is the ones coming in. You know, there's so many people that are losing their opportunities because they don't learn all the business. I believe in trucking. When you guys start out, you guys should learn the whole business. There should never come into this business without understanding how it all works. Why brokers can get away with taking 40%, or sometimes they only make 5%. Why brokers can't just take what they want. They have to take it all, and how important it is to be able to cover it, or you might lose your customer. The liability and risk of what's going on, what a carrier needs to go through. I think brokers should know how much it really fucking costs to operate a freaking truck. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like, you know, and you go through so for example, when you guys do training classes, or you guys are thinking about taking anybody's training, guys, go check them out. Check out their brokerages, get their MC numbers, check out their truckages, make sure they're moving freight. Let's see how long they've been in business. You know, just from people joining our group, we asked 3 questions. Do you guys have a trucking company or brokerage, or you're dispatching? Do you have an MC number? And you should see the shit that people lie about just to get in the group. Like every day we have to take out another training school or another person, a fake profile, all this stuff, because that's not what we want in our group. You know, we never started this to be the king of the world. Like, I don't have no gold watches. I have a cool car with lettering on it and stuff like that, but I'm still working all day long. I'm not walking through the mall with my gold suit, and I'm not sitting on an airplane showing you my $500 steak or whatever the hell it is. You know, my T-bone, how I eat fancy all the time, because that's what trucking's about. That ain't what trucking and brokering and logistics is about. It's about fucking working your ass off, networking, diversifying. You never stop, because the minute that you stop and you think you got it down, somebody else takes it, or you got to come up with something else to do. It just doesn't work perfect. Like, only so many people are going to walk into that golden fucking gig that just pays you so much money. It's not that real. It's not. And, you know, you go to these pages, you go to these groups, every minute, 1 minute, somebody said, man, everybody's so negative in this group. No one can just start out. Well, they're negative in those break broker groups because it's not as easy as you said it. Just because you got lucky and maybe you moved something, or just because you went out and got an RFP for some lumber mill making it look good, doesn't mean the next guys will do it the same. You know, it's kind of like I get so many calls every day for people that paid for a training that did it on a webinar or like an ebook thing. And it's like, why would you pay $500 for a training and you could get this for $25? It's like, why would you pay for a training that's only 4 hours on a webinar? When, yeah, the structure is the same. Shit, anybody can go and find out how much a bond's going to cost, the MC authority, how much contingency insurance is, find a copy of a broker script, hell, half your safety and compliance stuff What's up, David? Half of your compliance stuff is on the fucking internet. You know what I mean? You can find it all. But understanding it, the consequences, the clauses, it's like you go into a class and you have 25 people and you're going to teach 25 people. They could have a trucks, they could be owner operators, they could be a company guy, they could be getting into the business. They could have left Taco Bell yesterday. Every one of those people is going to be different. And everybody's got this painted picture out there that you can leave Taco Bell and go make $65,000 your first year. But I'm going to tell you, it's a lot different than that. It's just like everybody's like, I'm so sick of people out there saying, just be an agent, man. If you're an agent, you can learn while you're working and stuff like that. You guys that are doing this and you bring on these agents because you don't have a book of business yourself, you need to understand the risk and what's going to happen when that agent fucks up something or doesn't pay a carrier. Don't worry about it. They'll just quit and leave you hanging with the bill. But the liability, I think, is missing so much in this industry, the knowledge, the networking. And you don't get that stuff from a webinar. You can go on YouTube and see a guy talking about all the maps, the seasons, the lanes, and everything. He put it in structure, but he ain't got enough in 1 hour. And what are you going to do? Repeat the same stuff over? Where's the credit card fraud? Where's the risk where the guy blows the radiator fluid and costs you $50,000 that you got to cover for like 6 months because the fucking carrier's insurance company didn't do it? Half the people out there are telling you don't even need contingency cargo insurance until you get a customer. And if the customer don't require it, fuck it. You don't need it anyways. But then you have those incidents that happen where something's not covered, the commodity's not covered, the guy double brokers your load, and you didn't know how to pay attention because all you got to do is go out and make 100 calls a day, and you get that one lucky guy, and then you start getting paid. All those training and all those incidents and stuff, you can't learn that in 3 days. You can't learn in a 4-hour class. Hell, you could barely learn it in my 1 week class or my 3 weeks of trucking when you learn it all because you got to go do the work. You got to go do all that little stuff, those little things shit. There's so much like building a carrier base before you sell customers. So you know how to actually fucking bid freight instead of counting on DAT when it's down or the rate mate system. You got to understand the markets and the changes and what carriers need to move. I mean, there's so much more involved in the end of this business that the people aren't getting because it's not that quick. It's not that rich. Everybody gets lucky. We can't all be Tom Brady where it just falls in our lap like fucking who knows, like unbelievable. But we won't. Most of us have to work for it. Everybody wants that picture of corporate world to be like Donald Trump or Warren Buffett or that guy on YouTube that talking about buying a plane because he was poor, or the guy down in Tallahassee, Florida that does his RBMS training school that went from running a Swift truck to suddenly he's God's gift to earth all over the world. But what has he ever done? Where's his trucks? Where's his authority? Where's all that at? Where's the real brokerage that he's moving stuff? All I see is some platform of a guy training on Saturday morning on YouTube in his underwear telling everybody how late he is because he had to book 3 loads that day when a real dispatcher's probably booked 50. You know what I mean? Everybody's out here preaching. You got 400 people on YouTube. They got time all day to do stuff, including myself. I'm on here, but I'm working, but I'm no different. Do your research on who you're talking to, what they're putting out there for you, and how much of an investment. It's not what you guys think. You're not going to, like I had a guy call me the other day, really, right? The guy started off the phone calls. I'm an investor, man. I got 3 different incomes coming in. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I was on Facebook and YouTube, and I got this printout how these people could get me a company driver. All I got to do is purchase the truck and start the authority, and I'm good. I'm like, well, how much do you got to invest in a truck? $15,000. Wow. So how much do you got to start the authority? They told you all that. I mean, you're going to need $3,000 to $5,000 for insurance. You're going to need plates. You're going to need IFTA. You're going to have put money away for escrow. Shit, your truck's only $15,000. So you're going to need that $15,000 in the bank. Then, well, did they tell you when you buy that old $15,000 piece of shit truck that you're getting ready to purchase, no one is going to want to drive it because you ain't even found a driver yet? Then your cost is about probably going to be, with the driver and everything, $1.60 to $1.80 a mile before that's only giving you at that number maybe a $700 to $1,500 profit margin a week. But you still got to pay the dispatching guy. Then they don't come through because you did all that investment. Now what are you going to do? Wait for the next one to come along and run this fucking investment for you, or what? There's only there's 100 of them out there. So, I just got on today to talk. We're doing broker training tonight. It's going to be a cool class. Corey's coming in. We got Jared with Frostbrook coming in this week. We got, hopefully Frank will show up. He's kind of mad at me. We were supposed to go live on Friday and we haven't. And we're doing some rearrangement in the group, Facebook group. But, I just want you guys, to start thinking about these training schools. You got one from $25 all the way up. There it is. There's Jared. Hopefully he comes on this week. Jared's talking, hopefully he'll come on and give our guys some real experience on fucking reefer freight. I'm going to try to get him on tomorrow night or one night this week to talk to the broker class because he's wanting to help a lot of people grow in the industry and he's willing to put some time to them. And, we've been friends for a long time. And he's had great years and it goes down to nothing. This image that you guys are seeing on YouTube, Instagram, and oh my God, the new fucking Clubhouse act. I mean, I joined Clubhouse the other day and it was like they're having fucking church revivals all these people are on this Clubhouse app and they're sitting in a group and people are talking about supply chain management, logistics stuff. And I'm sitting here going, can you show me your degree? Well, no, I earned it all by experience, but you only been in business like 2 or 3 years and you're out there teaching this stuff. Like I'm a broker and I'm a carrier. We move freight. We're in logistics. And I don't even understand going into warehousing and doing supply chain movement and telling customers how they pay and what they do. Like, I could probably do a bunch with our team and stuff like that. But for me to go into Lennox and Stuttgart, Arkansas and be the in-house broker and tell them what warehouse is cheaper, how to manage this and do all that, that's above my head. I understand it. I know it, but I didn't go. I mean, I didn't. You got to learn that stuff, man. That's not running a normal brokerage. It's just like when you start getting into the customs and bonds and custom warehouses and freight forwarding and overseas stuff and different bills and all that stuff. Not everybody can just jump out there and do that in 2 minutes and make $60,000, your $100,000 your first year. What's up, Richard? Williams, Isaiah's in the house, Jared, Rima. If you guys have any questions about what we do or what we have going on, you're more than welcome to check us out, give us a call, ask a question. I just want people to start thinking about how real this really is. Like if you guys are opening a trucking company, think about what you're doing. How much is it going to cost for that driver? Where will you find them? I just did a fucking post in my group last week and asked how many people in my group were looking for drivers. And it was like, I think we're still rolling. I think it's over like 200 messages and just my group alone. So if they are established and they need drivers and you're coming into this business, where the hell are you going to find them? And what makes you better than them? Because you got lipstick on, you wear a tuxedo, you got some cash to throw around, you don't wear Volt shoes, you got Nikes instead. So then what are you going to do with that business if it doesn't work the way they said it? Because you don't know it yourself. Somebody, last week, there was a thing where me and my buddy, I love Aaron Moneypenny to death, right? So we're talking. And I made a point about in trucking, logistics, and brokerage. There's so much stuff going on with factoring companies trying to get clients. Of course, they use dispatching services and every form of marketing they can to get you to give them your money, your bills, so they can and finance them for you for a certain period of time, whether it's non-recourse or recourse. But the problem is they've lured themselves to work with people that are dispatching services and everything to bring clients in. And so we go and get our authority and we don't even have the time to even get a chance to think about it because the first thing we're told is you can't do it while you're driving. You can't do it yourself. And no one will use you in the first 90 days. But then you use these dispatching services and these companies that are running you. They control your stuff. They fill out your broker package. They control your marketing. They control your network. You get out of it, and now you don't have no emails of freight. You don't have any connections with the brokers coming in. You don't have anything going on. You haven't built not one relationship, but you picked up loads. And then